What's up, everybody? It's Trey Smith, one half of the Blue Bloods College Game Time podcast. And today I want to talk about Central Florida, man. The Knights. G.J. Kinney, the co-offensive coordinator, recently left to take the head coaching job at Incarnate Word in East Texas. And now there's an opening. And I've got a couple candidates that I think that Gus might go after. Few guys that have worked with Gus, have ties to Gus, coaches that I would consider Gus's guys. And I want to kind of go in order in which I think the likelihood of them joining Gus, particularly in the role of offensive coordinator, or I guess the co-coordinator, but I believe that, in conjunction with Gus, this will be a play caller type position. So my number 3 hot board candidate is none other than Chad Morris. I put him at 3 because he's the least likely of these candidates, but I have to mention him because of the history him and Gus Malzahn have. Now, I don't know if that stint, that one season at Auburn when everything sort of ended for Gus's tenure at Auburn, I don't know if that kind of did anything as far as their relationship or coaching relationship, but everybody knows the story. Chad Morris learned from Gus Malzahn when they were high school coaches, and then Chad Morris replaced Gus Malzahn as the offensive coordinator at Tulsa when Gus left for Auburn. And then obviously Chad Morris became one of the hottest names in the coaching world as the offensive coordinator at Clemson, and then he took the job at SMU, did some good things there, enough to get him the job at the University of Arkansas, and then pretty much bottomed out. Then went to join Gus's staff at Auburn, and then that's when everything ended for that team, or for that coaching staff with that team. Now Chad Morris is currently coaching at Allen High School in Allen, Texas, and I don't know, one to maybe keep an eye on. My next candidate is a coach you may or may not have heard of named Brent Dearman. Okay, Brent Dearman, I believe, was an analyst on one of Gus's Auburn staffs, I think in 2013, 2014. And then Brent Dearman actually went on to be a head coach at a lower level in the state of Arkansas at Arkansas Tech, had tremendous success, and eventually worked his way up to a Power 5 coordinator position on Les Miles' staff at Kansas. And there was actually a documentary about that first season Les Miles did as head coach at Kansas. And you see the transition from Brent Dearman, who started as an analyst and then ended up as the offensive coordinator. And this guy just has tremendous energy. He's got a great football mind. Being a play caller is nothing new to him. Being an assistant play caller is nothing new to him. I love this guy as a coach. He's currently at Middle Tennessee State right now as the offensive coordinator. I wouldn't be shocked if Gus gives him a call for that opening on his staff. So we've got Chad Morris, Brent Dearman, and then kind of my number 1 candidate, and maybe it's because I would love to see this guy as the offensive coordinator at Central Florida, and that's actually a former player for Gus at Auburn. I think it was when Gus was an offensive coordinator. It's Cody Burns. Cody Burns, some of y'all remember the receiver from Auburn. I believe he was converted to receiver when Cam Newton came to town. He was initially a quarterback, if I'm remembering correctly. But he joined Gus's staff at Arkansas State when Gus Malzahn was the head coach that one season at Arkansas State. He was a GA, and then he kind of hung around, worked on Gus's staff at Auburn when Gus was the head coach there. And then now he is currently the wide receivers coach at Tennessee. You talk about recruiting. You talk about just a good football coach. Cody Burns, I think, would be a tremendous fit at the University of Central Florida. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out, but those are my 3 to keep an eye on. Chad Morris, Brent Dearman, and Cody Burns, and let's see how it plays out. All right, Knights, let me know. Leave me some comments. Give me some subscribes. Leave me some comments on who you think is going to be that guy.